Psalm 62. Unto the end, for Edithan, a psalm of David. Shall not my soul be subject to God? For from him is my salvation. See, Edithan here, the prophet with the harp, and King David, well, they both must have been confused. Because, it's clear David must have known that he was going to have a granddaughter who was going to be born immaculate without the father, right? And she was going to turn around and have a grandson, or a son who would be his grandson, right? That would once be born as well immaculate without conception. And salvation and your soul will belong to them, right? David knew what he knew this prophecy. What was he doing saying this? That his soul is subject to the Creator. It's subject to Jesus, obviously, right? And salvation. What is he saying? The salvation is the Most High. It's God. It's obviously Jesus. I don't know what they're thinking here. They must have misspoke. It must be obvious. They must have misspoke. It says, "For He is my God and my Savior. He is my protector. I shall be moved no more." See, let's see right there. He must be talking about when you say the Lord's Prayer and you practice cannibalism, because you got to have the Lord's Supper, and you practice vampirism, and you practice worship of the dead. This is all Gothic, right? Don't we look at that and say, oh, that's all Gothic, right? All of that, right? He must have, he must have known that once you did that, then whenever the Most High looked at you, he didn't see you, because they say that Jesus is the blindfold for the Most High, right? Because he looks down and he sees the blood of Christ covering you, so he doesn't see your wickedness and sin. There's a blindfold there, or a blinder, right? Yeah, there's a way to trick the Most High. I'm being facetious, because I find this stuff so it runs so contrary to what the New Testament tries to claim is this how the situation works. For how long do you rush upon a man? All you kill, as if you were thrusting down a leaning wall or a tottering fence. But they have thought to cast away my price. I ran in thirst. They blessed with their mouth and cursed with their heart. Yeah, the civil tongue, right? Huh? Serpent speech. But be thou, O my soul, subject to God. For from him is my patience. And that's a virtue that's lost, right? No one really wants to practice patience. It's instant gratification these days. Gotta know it now, gotta have it now. Can't wait, no time. For he is my God and my Savior. I don't know, David was wrong. He had to know it was his grandson. That was going to be the Savior, right? He is my helper. I shall not be moved, for in God is my salvation and my glory. He is the God of my help, and my hope is in God. Trust in him, all ye congregations of people. Pour out your hearts before him. God is our helper forever. But vain are the sons of men. The sons of men are liars in their balance, that by vanity they may together deceive. Trust not in iniquity, and covet not robbers. There it goes, like what? Wall Street, right? The Catholic Church, right? List goes on and on. The music industry. If riches abound, set not your heart upon them. What you mean? don't look there and see the guy with the yacht and all the females on the yacht with the jet skis and his fancy car that brought him there and his big house and say, hey, yo, man, I wish I had all that. It says, set not your heart upon them. Don't look at these robbers and rich people and say, hey, that's the life. This almost sounds like Eastern philosophy. God has spoken once. These two things have I heard, that power belongeth to God, and mercy to thee, O Lord, for who wilt render to every man according to his works. And then, and we know what our works are supposed to be. We're supposed to stand up for the meek and the weak and poor. We're supposed to be there for the fatherless, to lend a hand to the widow and the mother that raises the child without the father. And when I mean lend a hand, I mean if there's anything you can do to help the child be on the right path, to give correction, to look out for the child, those type of things. Clothes, food. But, you look around and it's hard to see people actually do that stuff. You always hear people say, I ain't raising no child that ain't mine. Let's see here. And this is just for those recognize his name from Corinthians or any of the other places they mentioned him. Here he is. 1 Corinthians 25:1. And there we go.
Moreover, David and the chief officers of the army separated for the ministry the sons of Asaph, and of Heman, and of Idithan, to prophesy with harps, and with psalteries, and with cymbals according to their number, serving in their appointed office.